Hey guys, DeeDavidsim here. So today we have another speed build in Brindleton Bay. I have been building here a lot recently. Again, like I said in the last video, it's just so pretty in the fall. And I know I don't think the scenery changes at all for this, but I don't know. Maybe it's only when you have a sim moved in, but today I wanted to focus on a specific style of home. So this is like a Dutch colonial, which is pretty much all you see in Brindleton Bay. There are some cottage type homes, but mostly it's kind of a Dutch colonial style. So I did want to focus on that and just have a little fun because I've never made one before. I have played in them in Brindleton Bay, but I've never built one. So this is my first attempt at a Dutch colonial, which it was really fun. Just trying to figure it out, honestly. But it's at least the roofing. That was really interesting. I probably spent a solid, I don't know, hour? No, maybe not that long. Maybe 40 minutes on roofing, but it felt like an hour. It felt like forever. But yeah, so it is a 3-bedroom house made for 4 Sims. So the idea that I had going in here was that it would be like a single mom and her 3 sons. So I did make it for a teenager, a child, and a toddler. I figured the teenager had just either the toddler was unexpected and the child is getting ready to be a teen, but the toddler and the child sim do share a room. The teenager has his own room, so I guess you could make him go to college when the child ages up. But that was the general idea that I had. So I added on a spot for the kitchen because when I was looking at the floor plan, it just didn't have any space for a kitchen. It is a weird floor plan. When we get inside, you'll kind of see that, but it's not too bad. It is a small dining room and living room, which I had to fiddle around with a lot of placement, which I did clip out of the video just because it would be like a 40-minute video had I added it all in. But it's very simple landscaping in a minute, and I did like the idea of adding this small patio area. You can only access it from the office and the master bedroom. But yeah, so I hate that I added the landscaping before and didn't just extend it out by one tile on the right hand side of the house, because it probably would have made the build a lot easier. But I'm stubborn and I was like, I like the way it looks now. I didn't want to mess with anything else, so I did leave it. You can pull it out to the left if you want, but by all means, it's your build after this. So again, the story behind the house, I liked the idea of I like the idea, present tense, of doing builds for specific families. So I don't know if you guys do this or if you're just I'm building a house. But I attempted to build this house, I think 6 times. Not necessarily in this style, but when I finally decided to move from, I think I started building a house in New Crest, and then it moved to Willow Creek, and then back to New Crest, and then I finally decided to go with a Dutch colonial style in Brindleton Bay. But while I was in New Crest, I built and demolished 3 houses. I know that much. Or at least, maybe not completely demolished, but I just could not. I don't know if you guys struggle with this at all, but I can never land on my own floor plan. So the inside, so the outside was based on a picture that I saw online, which pretty much looks exactly the same as the house, but the floor plan was all me. And so I'm trying to get better at that and just literally attempting to create a floor plan from scratch and it's not going my way at all. I don't know if you guys have that struggle, but I literally did. Oh, there was also a stint where I traveled over to Sulani to attempt to build again, but then I decided, while I did like the house that I was building, I didn't want to build another beach house this soon. And so I did keep it. It's still there, and I did videotape it, so I may add that later on. But as of now, it's this Dutch Colonial, and that's okay. So, still working on the landscaping. I did go ahead and do the floor plan, and I have this really bad habit of going into the debug menu for landscaping, and then I'll see something that I want for the house, and I'll jump into the house and back out to landscaping. I don't know if you guys do that, but I do. So, along the same lines, this, you'll see in the interior, it's kind of a fixer-upper. Not necessarily completely fixer-upper, but I wanted it to be like it was this couple's first house and they were renovating it, and the husband like either left the kids and the wife or passed away. That's your story to play, I guess, if you want to go with that in this house. But yeah, so that was the idea. That's why it's a single mom and 3 sons, I guess. But going on, I personally love this kitchen. I didn't add too many overhead cabinets, which I wish I would have, because those windows that I'm using, I don't know if you guys have ever used those. They're just base game windows, but they don't, like, the hole that they create doesn't completely, like, the window doesn't cover all of it. And so at the top of the window, you'll see, like, there's just, like, a little gap, and it's so annoying. It just looks like a little black gap, but if you're in, like, the Sims point of view, you can actually see outside. So it's really annoying, but it doesn't affect gameplay at all, which is kind of nice. But yeah, they don't quite reach the top. So, I did, with the kind of fixer-upper style, a lot of the furniture doesn't match. So, like, some of it you can kind of see where they were renovating, but, like, a lot of the kids' furniture, especially the teenagers' room, I didn't want a lot of it to match. I wanted it to kind of be like it's been his room since he was a toddler, and so there's just, like, an eclectic lot of furniture, and I don't know, I really like it. I like that it doesn't all match, because usually I don't do stuff like that at all. I usually do very synchronistic kind of builds where everything is pretty much the same color scheme. Maybe I should do the color challenge where, like, every room is a different color, which honestly, I might do that soon. I might challenge myself to do that. I do add the pet bowls. Maybe they were wanting to get a pet. I'm not entirely sure. I just added them there because I thought it would be a cute ad. Like, maybe the kids wore the mom down and she wanted a dog as well, or a cat, or either way. But I didn't place any other pet clutter because I couldn't decide between a cat or a dog if I wanted it in the house. But I do leave a space in the dining area to put, like, a scratching post or anything along those lines. There's no room in any of the bathrooms for a litter box, I will say that much. And I did put the clothesline outside because I wanted to add laundry in the master bathroom, but I had to make the master bathroom smaller. I just did that in the build, if you saw that on the video. I had to make it smaller so that I could fit the dining room table that I wanted, because it was just kind of an odd shape for the dining room to be, like, 1 tile smaller than the living. Maybe that's just me. You could also, I wanted it to be more open because it already felt so small. You could put a wall in with, like, an archway or something along those lines, dividing the living room and the dining room, but I didn't want to. So I did just leave it at that. I wish that these windows, like whatever color you wanted the shutters to be, I wish that the panes weren't the same. Like, I hate that they're green inside the house. I wanted them to just be white like the rest of the window, but they have to be green. I don't know why. We need more swatch options, in my personal opinion. Hey, maybe we'll get some swatch options on new things with the update. I am so excited to see what this Thursday brings. I really hope it's spiral staircases because I miss them so much. I feel like I took them for granted in previous games, and now we don't have them. So that would be so nice if we could have spiral staircases again, because I have a specific build in mind that would require a spiral staircase. You could probably use a ladder, but it's not as much fun. Spiral staircases are just so much fun in my mind. So I did add a small office. You could take this out and like make it a little bit smaller, maybe add a half bathroom, because the only bathroom downstairs is the master bathroom. So that could be a little annoying for gameplay, because if you have Sims over, they would of course use either the upstairs or the master bathroom. So you'll see in a minute, I don't add too much clutter in the master bedroom for that reason. I wanted to keep it just like a tidy little, like it's her oasis, which is also why I added the balcony door on her side as well. Like maybe that's her quiet space to get away from the kids or something along those lines. Like she'll sit out there at night and just look at the landscaping in the mountains of Brindleton Bay. Which you don't have to play this house in Brindleton Bay if you don't want to. I love this lot that it's on. It's like the far back one next to, oh, what is their name? I don't remember. I'm so sorry. It's not, I don't know. It's nestled in the mountains, and I thought that it was perfect for this because it's quiet, and like maybe because of the location, because it's not near town at all, like maybe it was cheaper for them to afford, something along those lines. So it is just nestled back into a corner of the mountains, and I just thought it was kind of perfect to have this little space that they could call their own. So again, I didn't add much clutter. I don't think I added any wall hangings in here aside from the one painting of Brightchester, which I love that painting. It looks like, I don't know if you guys know what Highclere Castle is. If you do, it's where they filmed Downton Abbey. There's part of it that is also shown in Pride and Prejudice, I think. I don't know, it's like a domed building. It's just outside. I literally don't know what the purpose of the building is, but it's beautiful on this lush landscape, and that's what that painting reminds me of. So I do like using it in builds because it doesn't remind me of Brightchester at all. There's nothing around Brightchester that kind of looks like it, so I don't know why it's a swatch of that painting, but I'm glad that it is. So moving on upstairs, this is the teenager's room. So I wanted it to be very simple. I did want to use one of the beds that had storage underneath because I didn't add any closets in this build. I just had dressers for them. Because like if it's an older house or something like that, they probably wouldn't have had dresser or closets. They probably would have had like a chest of drawers or something along those lines. So I did want to add like a little reading nook for him, even though I didn't add a real bookshelf. I just added the books that you can use as a bookshelf in here. My idea for the teenager was that he wanted to be a journalist when he grows up. So I do add some like postcards and like on the corkboard and stuff. And he likes to travel, and he wants to be a travel reporter or something along those lines. So I do give him his own space and his own computer, which in my personal opinion, if I was a single mom with 3 kids, I probably wouldn't have 2 computers in my house, but I did kind of justify it in my mind, like maybe he has a part-time job and he wanted to save up for a computer, and that's why he has a few more possessions than the other kids do. Like maybe he bought that little couch in his room, and I did want to add one of the cracks on the wall, but I decided not to. I didn't want it to be that much of a fixer-upper. So I do add the corkboard. I think it comes with Get to Work. It just looks like it has a bunch of like newspaper clippings and stuff like that. And like he wants to go to college in Brychester. So yeah, I didn't want to clutter up the kids' rooms too much because again, like it is a loving family, but if her husband passed away or left, like they wouldn't be able to afford too much. She's doing her best to just kind of scrape by with what they have. So again, the furniture doesn't really match, especially in this room, and I kind of like that. Like maybe it was the kids' room, and when they had the toddler, his tastes started changing more towards like video games and what are they called? Like, I don't know, those action figures that they have in the game. I'm not entirely sure. But they have them, they remind me of Pokemon. So I put these on the wall and I sized them down to look like stickers. Like he's started collecting the stickers from packs and Transformers. That's what they remind me of, those things. Sorry. Just hit me. But yeah, so I wanted to have it kind of divided, but also not in the same way. So I do add a lot of crafting stuff, and I thought maybe the child-aged Sim likes to draw, and he's very artistic. I do later add an easel on to the back porch that they can access through there. So you'll see, like, I don't know, I kind of wanted it to be just like hand-me-downs, you know? Like that kind of style. But yeah, the kids are saving. They have their piggy bank and they do chores around the house, and the mom gives them money, anything along those lines. So I thought that the piggy bank was a nice addition to put in there. This bathroom was hard for me to put together because I wanted the toilet to go in that little alcove, and the sink, I wanted to have 2 sinks because 3 boys need 2 sinks. So I didn't do a tub. I did just do the standing shower. But I put that half wall there so that they could have some privacy. Like if they walked in, they wouldn't see each other and get embarrassed or something along those lines. So, again, not too much clutter. I just want it to be very simple. It's a small home, but I wanted it to still feel homey, you know, like they had been there for a few years. Maybe they bought the house when the teenager was a toddler or a child and they started renovating it then. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the build, and we will be moving on to the screenshots shortly. So if you guys have any comments or questions or maybe suggestions for my next build, just let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all later. Bye!